We have some really good stuff today. All right. Hello. How are you doing today? I have a bit of a surprise for you. I decided to wear something very special today. So this is really cool because over the past several weeks I have noticed here in Southeast Texas that the monarch butterflies have started their migration back to Mexico. So I am just so happy that I have some monarch butterfly wings that I can wear today to piano. Just to remind ourselves of the beauty of nature and the cyclical nature of how everything works around us, and just to appreciate the beauty that's outside today. So thanks for joining me. We have some really cool stuff we're going to work on today for our bonus songs. But before we get started, I'll start with the reminders, okay? So the first thing, of course, is if you can hit the share button for me and let everybody know that you're learning some bonus songs today for piano. The second thing would be to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find all of my previous lessons from every series that I've done there. Just search for Izzy Chia and you'll find me. The third thing is of course, if you haven't joined my private Facebook group, I encourage you to do so. That way you can get that one-on-one interaction with me and join a very supportive community of piano learners. And last but not least, if you're looking for the music from today's bonus songs, you'll have to join the private group and look under the Files tab of the group, and you'll find it there, okay? Without further ado, let's get started, okay? So, if you noticed, today is actually a very special day in American history, and especially us here in Texas. Today is June 19th, but it's also known as Juneteenth, okay? That's an interesting word, isn't it? And it's a very special day because it's the day that signifies the announcement in Galveston, Texas, which is just a few miles down the road from me, that the African Americans were freed from slavery, and that is such an important day. And because of that, that is a day that is full of joy and dancing and singing and happiness. So because of that, I wanted to bring our first bonus song into the mix, because it is just one of those songs that is all about gratitude and grace. It is Amazing Grace. Of course, it's special on Juneteenth, but it's also special for so many different reasons. But we're going to have such a fun time learning it today. Okay, so go ahead and pull out your Amazing Grace. Remember, this one's a 2-page song, okay? All right, so I'm going to put it here at the piano. And I'm going to take off my finger my wings, my butterfly wings, so I have my piano fingers free, okay? All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to first find our position, okay? It's not necessarily going to be a position that we are familiar with, because I tried to find a version that was easy enough to learn for your level, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to find our middle C, okay? And I want you to put your right hand thumb on that middle C, okay? But then notice where your right hand finger 5 pinky is, okay? I'm going to ask you to move your right hand thumb where your pinky is on the G. So we're going to shift our hand up, okay? Let me switch to piano mode so you can see. All right, so here's middle C position. Let's shift the right hand up, okay? Thumb is going to go where my pinky is right now. Ready to see the switch? There I go. And then I fan out my fingers from there. So now your right hand thumb, finger 1, is on a G instead, okay? Now, we got to figure out what we're going to do with our left hand, right? So what we're going to do is take your left hand, and you know how you do for middle C position, middle C butterfly position? We're going to pretend that our butterfly has landed on that G where your right hand finger 1 is, okay? So that left hand thumb is going to share that G with your right hand thumb, okay? And you'll fan out your fingers. How appropriate that I'm dressed as a butterfly today since we've moved that position, huh? Let's switch to piano view so you can see where I put my left hand, okay? All right, here's that thumb. I'm going to place it on the same G as the right hand and fan out those fingers, okay? It looks a lot like middle C position, but it's called middle G position, okay? The reason being is that we have to be able to reach the notes that are up higher in this song that a middle C couldn't reach, okay? So this is what we're going to do. The beginning of the song starts with a quarter note C. And where is that quarter note middle C? It looks like it's going to be your left hand pinky. You see me shaking that pinky? That's going to be your first note. Notice our time signature too. We have 3 beats to the measure, okay? So let's see if we can start this song. It goes from C up to F, and then we have some notes we've never seen before. Let's see if we can figure it out, okay? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, 1, play. C, F, 2. Now that it's asking you to go to an A, that's going to be your right hand finger 2. A, F, A. So it's 2, 2, 2, but it's right hand, left hand, right hand. Then we go down to G, that's your right hand thumb. Now down to left hand 2, F. Now left hand 4 on D, and down to C, 2. There we go. Here we're gonna play that theme again. C up to F, A, F, A, down to G, and up to C is your right hand finger 4. 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, let me flip over here to this view. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, right? When we're set up in that middle G position, we're starting with the first note in the left hand, right? And then it goes up to F, which is your left hand 2, right? And it does this little dance when it comes to these 2 black notes, A, F. Now those 2 notes together, they're a group of 8th notes, right? We don't even know what 8th notes are. We haven't learned that yet. But that's okay, because if we think about it in notes that we do know, like we know the quarter note, right? The quarter note gets, do you remember? 1 beat, right? Yeah. So imagine taking a quarter note and splitting it in half, right? So you'd have half a beat and a half a beat, because a half plus a half equals a quarter, or well, a whole, but in this case, a quarter note, right? So 8th notes, 2 of them, are going to be put together the same time as a quarter note, okay? It's like twice as fast, right? Okay, so back to our position here, all right? When we encounter those 8th notes, I like to count it as 1 and, right? Because that makes it a little bit quicker, right? Because they're quicker notes. Let's see if we can play that first section once more, okay? Let's try it. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we are going to be in that middle G position this time, friends. Okay, find that G that's closest to middle C, and you're going to fan out those fingers from there, okay? Now, we're going to begin with that finger 5 left hand on C, going up to a finger 2 F. All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, ready, play. C, F, 2, A, F, A, 2, G, F, 2, down to D, to F2, A, F, A2, G up to C2, 3, 1, 2. Very good. All right. We got to continue the song though, right? How are you doing so far? Are you catching up? Are you able to keep up with me? It's a little bit tricky, right? Luckily, you'll be able to play this video again and again and again, like as many times as you need to make sure that you got it, okay? Let's keep learning, all right? So let's find that position once more. I'm going to put my thumbs on G right there. And I'll fan out my fingers. And what we're going to do is we're going to start there at the third line, okay? That's that bottom line of page 1. And I'm going to just play that high C. That's the right hand finger number 4, okay? So I'm going to play that note, and then we're going to keep on going. All right, I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. C, 2, 3, tie, 2. Now it goes down to A, C, C, 2, A, F, A2, and G, F2, down to D, and C2, C, back up to F2, A, F, A2, G, and F2, 3, tie, 2, and then it has a C right there. Oh, but do you see something at the end of that? What do you see? What do you see at the end of that line there? There are some double dots. It's a repeat sign, isn't it? Do you remember the repeat sign? But the special thing about this repeat sign is it bounces you back to the beginning, right? Take a look. There's the other repeat sign at the start of the second measure, right? That's a funny place to put the repeat sign, isn't it? But it's just letting you know that you're going to have to play it again, right? Now, if we were to play this song all the way through with all the verses, that is, how many verses is that? 6 verses. That's a lot. But you know what? It's actually pretty good practice. If you want to try that, you can. I'm not going to do that here for our lesson, but it is a good way to get those practice minutes in, right? So I just wanted to let you know that once you play that C with the left hand pinky, it's bouncing you back all the way to the beginning, and you start playing that F, right? Okay, let's see if we can just try it one more time through, and I'm going to slow it down even slower so that we're able to really understand the relationship between those notes, okay? All right, let's give it a try. You're doing so well. What a fun song. It's a very special song. Okay, so let's find our position, all right? All right, so I'm going to count all the way up here to this G, middle G, right? Not middle C. We're going up to middle G, and that's going to be where the butterfly lands. Awesome. We're going to begin with the left hand pinky on C, okay? And then we go up to F, finger 2, left hand. All right, let's count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, play. 2, A, F, A2, G, F2, D, C2, C up to F2, A, F, A2, G up to C2, 3, 1, 2, A, C, C2, A, F, A2, G, F2, down to D, then C2, C, F, did you do with that one, huh? Was it super hard or were you able to get through it? It's going to take some practice, isn't it? It's important for us to learn how to be able to read different notes in different positions, right? Because I always say this, right? You have 10 fingers, but 88 keys. That's a lot, right? You don't have 88 fingers, do you? That would be funny. But that's okay. So we have to be able to read at different places on the staff and expand our knowledge of notes, right? Fantastic work on Amazing Grace. I hope you're feeling good. Let's do a 1-second party for that, okay? I'm gonna do a butterfly wing party. Whee! Yeah, all right, that was fabulous. All right, go ahead and put away your Amazing Grace, my friends, okay? That was a beautiful piece. Now let's see if we can pull out our second song, okay? All right, so this next song here is a really special song as well. It's patriotic, but I had to make sure to find a patriotic song that was going to be at your level right now, right? I didn't want to give you something super hard and crazy to understand if we haven't actually learned it yet. So I picked this song because it's definitely something that we can do, okay? Although it's written in high C position, but I think we can figure it out, okay? I chose This Land Is Your Land, okay? By Woody Guthrie, okay? He was a folk singer and an activist, and he always had some wonderful things that pretty much speak to the American fabric of this country. So let's dive right in, okay? So we have for This Land Is Your Land, we're gonna be in a C position, like a middle C position, but we're gonna be up higher, like I said, okay? So remember when I had you find all your C's on the piano? I want you to find the C that is 1 octave above middle C, okay? So it's gonna be, let's switch here so you can see. Here's our middle C, right? Now, we're gonna go up to the next C. Bingo, right there, okay? Now this C is gonna be where the butterfly is going to land, okay? So put both your thumbs on there and fan out the rest of your fingers, okay? Now, This Land Is Your Land is like a C position song, but there's some really interesting things about these notes. They are written for a high C position instead, so they look totally different to you, okay? So as I play, I want to sing the note names as well. So if you want to take a pencil, you can take your pencil and write down those note names, okay? I'm going to play through it one time and see if you can follow along, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, play. C, D, E, F2, F2, hold. F, C, D, E, hold. E, hold, hold. C, 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 E, D, hold. D, hold, tie. D, D, C, D, E, hold. E, hold, tie. C, C, D, E, F, hold. F, hold, tie. F, F, C, D, E, hold. E, hold, hold, 4 beats. D, D, hold. C, B, hold. G, B, B, C, 2, 3, 4, tie. Wow, so how did that go? Were you able to write down some of the note names? I tried to play it nice and evenly, okay? Now that you've heard the tune, you might recognize it, right? So there's a few things to talk about with this. we have also those eighth notes that we talked about in our other song, right? So we have to make sure that they're nice and quick, okay? We don't want to get surprised when we see them and play them slowly. We got to play them quickly, okay? The other thing that I noticed is that most of the song is played with the right hand. So that's actually a good thing, right? Because it reminds us that if we have the note names in there and we're used to playing in a C position, then we can easily figure out which finger numbers we're going to be using, okay? That's a good thing. Now, when it gets a little bit confusing is at the bottom line, okay? When that left hand comes in, you've got a B down to a G, up to a B again. Those first three notes in the bottom line. Now, those are going to be extra special because they have a new note in it. There's a dotted quarter note, okay? We have never had a dotted quarter note before, but that's okay. We can figure it out, okay? So the dotted quarter note, basically what you're going to be doing is you play it for one beat, but you're going to hold it a little bit longer because it actually is 1.5 beats, okay? And then it looks like you've got 2 eighth notes right there at the bottom with the flags. Let me see if I can show you real quick, because I know this can be confusing. You see those 2 eighth notes right there? Those 2 right there have little flags, and they're going to be your quick notes. And then right there at the end of this measure, you have another dotted quarter note, okay? That one's going to be a quarter note, but you hold it a little bit longer, okay? Wonderful. Okay. Now, those 4 notes there, that first measure of the last line, I'm going to have you write down your finger numbers for that, okay? If you're going to be in a butterfly C position for high middle C, I guess up here, it's going to be a left hand 2 on that B, down a third to a 4 on that G, then back up to a B, your 2, and then your right hand comes in on that 2 for the last dotted quarter note, okay? I hope you got that. Let's see if we can play this part once more, okay? Just the last line. So you can watch what my fingers do, okay? All right, so let's give this a try. I'm going to find my spot. There's my C above middle C. That's where my butterfly lands. Now I talked about the first note of the last line being a finger 2 left hand. That is a B, and I'm going to hold it for a 1.5 beats. Okay, you ready? And then it goes down to a 4 in my left hand, and then back up to that B again. Okay? Listen carefully. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay. Did you get that? It was kind of hard, huh? Let's see if we can play that once more, okay? I'm going to count off again. Remember, it goes 2, hold, 4, 2, and then 2 in the right hand, and down to a C, a 1, okay? Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. Awesome. Okay. It's probably confusing, but that is A-okay. All right? Now, let's see if we can play this song one more time, super duper slowly, okay? If you've written in your note names already, then you are doing awesome, okay? Try your best to see if you can play along with me this time, okay? Remember, most of this song is going to be played by your right hand. Just that little teeny tiny bit at the bottom line, the part that we just drilled, is the part that's got the left hand in it, okay? Try your best. We'll see what happens, okay? Let's switch to piano view. I gotta spread out my pretty wings. Ooh, how nice. Okay, so let's find our spot. There's our middle C. Let's go up to the C above middle C, and let's have our butterfly land there. Okay? I'm going to count off very slowly, and you're going to come along with me on this beautiful journey of this land is your land. Okay? Starting with the finger 1 on C. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. C, D, E, up to F. F, hold tight. F, C, D, E, hold. E, hold. Hold. Quick notes. Up to E, then D, hold. D, hold. Tie. Quick notes. C, D, E, hold. E, hold, and tie. Quick notes. D, E, F, hold. F, hold. Hold. Quick notes. C, D, E, hold. E, hold. Tie. 2, 3, 4. D, D, hold. C, left hand 2, 4, 2, D, C, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Hey, now that was pretty remarkable. I enjoyed that. Hopefully you were able to at least attempt to play along with me, okay? It's gonna take practice. I mean, you know that I choose songs that they're definitely your level, but they're a little challenging, right? Because I don't want to just make everything super easy, because then you'll never be able to challenge yourself, right? Luckily, you're part of my private group, so you can ask me questions and you can play your song on there and record it, and I'll help you through it, okay? Especially if it gets a little bit tricky. All right? I'm so happy that you joined me today for our bonus songs. What an awesome day it has been. I got to be a butterfly. We got to talk about some history and celebrate our country and the beauty that's inside of it. I do want to remind you that I am accepting tips. Yay! So if you happen to have an extra $1 or $2 to send my way, if you've enjoyed these lessons, I would really appreciate the help. I accept PayPal. My email is encoremusichtx@gmail.com. I also have Venmo. My username is Izzy Chia. And then Cash App as well. My username is IZZI3CH3A. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has been such a great afternoon. And cross your fingers. We've got 2 weeks until we start the summer series, okay? Practice, practice hard. If you're playing catch up, go ahead and do that. And I will see you very, very soon, okay? Have a wonderful day. Take care.